Plus, you want the royalty money coming in, right? You have, who wants to go?
I want to add something to that. So there are, there are service models in particular, especially when there's a lot of outbound marketing that's required to bring in customers. You can have performance standards in the agreement that says, next year, your royalty goes up 2x. Probably should generate more revenue because you're going to be paying me more royalty no matter what. So sometimes that'll help drive them out of business. I'm like, shit, I'm getting out of here, and you get rid of them that way as opposed to trying to terminate them when you really don't have cause.
Two things. First off, that's a Charlie Chase quote. The exit with honor, I think, from First Service Brands. That is absolutely accurate, and I've repeated that 100 times to my clients. The only few other things is you can't be discriminatory. Okay, meaning you can't say, okay, well, this guy doesn't meet his minimum performance standards. And he's really an asshole, and I don't want to hang out with him anymore. But these three people aren't meeting their minimum performance standards, and I'm not going to do anything with them. Be careful about being discriminatory in any way. Treat everyone the same way. Put them into buckets. And what I like to say is there's a stick bucket where you got to hit them with the stick, and then there's a carrot bucket where you maybe try to work it out with them. But the carrot versus the stick is a huge part of this, and especially when you're a young franchisor, like Nick said, it'll bang your item 20 a little bit, then people in the banking industry don't want to finance you because you had 3 franchisees close in the first 2 years. You only sold 5 or got 5 open. So treating those guys like royalty a little bit, to the extent reasonable, I would try to work with them because maybe you're learning too to replicate. Just, it's not always one per party in that situation.
My first 25 years in franchising was in operations. And so what we did in operations was we tracked the revenue of all the stores. And we always had our support team focused on the bottom 20%, making sure that we were raising them up and raising them up and raising them up. That helped our average numbers in the FDD so that people would say, okay, this is viable, I want to buy this. It helps with validation. It also helps for that one guy who's just kind of floating around out there from falling off the cliff, because we're involved in their business, we know what their numbers are, and we're always trying to help and focus and grow them. They can never come back and say, I never got any help because I was in their pocket, on their hip, whatever it took to make sure that I was going to make sure they were successful. So always focusing on the bottom half, bottom third, bottom quarter, whatever it is, keep those folks in mind. That's where the trouble starts. And so making sure you're doing everything. And if they're just not going to get there, maybe it's just not for you. Let me get you out before it's really in trouble. Exit gracefully, find a buyer, merge them with somebody else, take action.
And that's working on your business, not in your business. What he just described, you are now working on your business to grow it into a national or international behemoth.